Spoiler alerts.
If anyone has not seen this movie that we're going to discuss, spoiler alert.
There we go.
You've been warned!
You've been warned. Welcome back, BVB Army, to another episode of BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. I am Nicole.
I am Ruth.
March is almost over.
Almost. We have like 2 weeks or something? Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then April's gonna be
April.
I'm so excited. That means Blackville Brides. I mean, I know they're going to be touring, obviously, like in South America toward like the end of March. But when April comes along, they'll be touring in the US. And then I get to see Ruth. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be awesome. FYI, if anyone noticed, I apologize for my voice and energy. I got horribly sick this past week. I work in a petri dish school, but getting over it. So I do apologize if there's some weird coughing or sneeze breaks in this episode because still getting it out of my system.
If I was there, I would be feeding you plenty of soup and tea.
See, I don't like tea though. I force
I don't
myself
like
to
tea
drink
either.
it.
Why did I think that you were a tea drinker?
Oh
Like,
my
I know
God.
you like coffee,
I
but for
love
some reason I thought
coffee.
you
I
enjoyed a little bit
know
of
the only
tea.
time I drink tea is when I'm sick and I have to force myself to do it.
Okay, but question, do you like sweet tea? Like, let's just say from McDonald's.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, me too. Okay. I don't know why I thought you liked tea.
I don't know, it's funny. Also, by the way, I know this video is uploaded a couple days later, but we just saw some photos of BVB's show in Mexico at the festival. Can we just say, first of all, that I saw a video. I know most of you have seen it already. The guys have their throats slit. Like, I don't know if that's like special effects makeup or something else, but the fact that they did that, and also Andy has a special microphone that has a razor blade in it. Hello.
I just saw all this on Ruth's story that she posted to Instagram, and I'm just like literally told her, I'm like, so now I'm rethinking like makeup. Do I want to do special effects, slit throat?
Right? I was thinking the exact same. I'm like, well, I could. It's not going to be too much for the guys. I'm just doing it. So,
I'm hoping that this is something that they do for every show, though.
well, I don't know because I may have asked a certain member about it. I asked a certain member, the Destroyer. I asked them, like, did you guys slit your throats? He's like, yeah. I told him, so cool. He said, thank you. And then I asked him, will this be on tour over here? And he's like, perhaps. LOL, not sure yet, but we will have different looks for this upcoming era.
Different looks. So that was my next thing, is if they don't do like the slit throats for every dates, they're probably gonna switch it up.
I don't care. I all I cares about is those jackets.
Those jackets.
Those jackets. Okay. Like I'm on day whatever 20 something already asking Lee from Saint Sam Dead for a sneak peek of these amazing jackets. And I need to see those jackets. I need to at least see Andy wearing this jacket on tour. I mean, come on. Even if it's just like in the beginning and he takes it off, I'm totally okay with it. I need to get witness it.
Soon, soon. If we don't see anything in March, April is almost here. You will see the jackets.
I swear, I feel like BVB has something coming up at the end of this month or next month, like new music video or these freaking jackets.
Blackbird Brides always does. I feel like they always drop something when a tour is coming up.
They have to. By the way, if this is not uploaded or reposted photo, I want to see the merch booth right now, what they have during the South America tour, because I just need to. Because I haven't seen any photos yet as of right now when we're filming this, when they're in Mexico. I need to see the freaking merch.
The merch is, I just know, is going to be freaking killer.
If they do not bring those razor blade BVB shirts like they did a long time ago, I will be disappointed. Just saying.
So fun fact, I actually never knew those shirts existed. I've never seen them, like, obviously never on like their official merchandise site. I never saw anyone selling them. I never found them at like Hot Topic. So like where were those? Where did you get those?
I don't know. I did see a couple at Hot Topic. I just couldn't afford it at a time.
Maybe I just never went in at the right time for my
Maybe,
Hot
yeah.
Topic.
So I am beating myself
Sad.
up so much now because have I known back then?
It's okay. I mean, same here. If I would have just went in and, at the perfect time, but it's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay. Maybe we'll have our chance. Maybe if they bring it back, it'll be enhanced. I guess putting that aside for now, though, we are here today to discuss something completely different. For anyone that doesn't know, we are here to discuss American Satan. What to
American
say? I see your DVD in the back.
Satan.
Grab it.
So we know this is technically not BVB related, but it does have the one and only Andy Biersack on featuring on this film.
The rest of the members do not star in this film or make any sort of appearance, unfortunately, but that's okay.
But this movie in I guess in a way this whole universe that the Sumerian Records created is a pretty cool because yes, they did a TV spins off of Paradise City, which we'll get into maybe later on, but we're gonna start off with American Satan because it's probably the first, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I would say probably first motion picture that Andy was a part of.
Yes, which his acting is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if you watch obviously his old videos with Chance and everything, you can see the little actor in him, but to see him in something as crazy as American Satan, I think he did a really fantastic job.
When did this movie come out? Like,
So I'm so glad you asked because American Satan came out on, okay, it was released in select theaters
I
on
know.
October 13th, 2017. Yes, October 13th, Friday the 13th. It doesn't get better than that. That's not so cool.
I have salty reviews on that.
You have salty
Like
reviews.
you said, okay, so and for anyone who doesn't know, yes, it came out on October 13th, Friday the 13th, which is pretty awesome, I will say, just because, yeah. But like Nicole said, this movie premiere only in select theaters only, so on the 13th. So I remember either it was on Facebook or Instagram, I can't remember because I did see all these promos. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this because I finally get to see Andy acting and stuff, which is really cool and everything because I know he's done a little bit here and there, but not full on like production and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when the list of theaters came out of where they're going to be showing, nowhere in Washington. There was nowhere in Washington and stuff. By then, I was living in a very small town for I think it was my first year, second year teaching, and nowhere, not even in Seattle and stuff. And so I was just like devastated, which made it worse because I was looking on the list. You know what? Select their theater and city and state they were going to stop at El Paso, Texas, and I'm just like. Great, of course. Yeah, the one time they stop in El Paso, well, they premiere in El Paso, Texas. I'm not there.
My heart breaks for you.
But
And
I don't okay, but hear me out. So I did not see it on the 13th of it when it premiered, unfortunately. But I don't remember what happened, but they added more, they just selected more selected theaters to show it. Oh my God, thank God. Because it then said Spokane, Washington. And I was just like, I don't care if I have to drive 2, 3 hours back to Spokane. It gives me an excuse to see family again. I'm going to see this movie. And so I made a whole vlog about it. It's up on my personal channel, honestly. But basically, I left the town I was in, drove straight to the movie theaters, and at that time I was with my ex, and my ex joined me to watch it, and literally it was just us and some other couple in the movie theaters just watching it. That was because it was completely empty.
I know you didn't get to see it on the 13th, but how, like, was it like a week or two later that they added it?
I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember. It's been some time, but I know I did not see it on the 13th. I did see it maybe a week or two. I want to say I don't know.
That's great though that they added more select theaters, I guess you could say. So that must mean that it did pretty decent. I know that in I think I had right here the box office gross like 237,000 on the movie alone, which I say is pretty decent.
You saw it on the 13th, right?
I did, yes. So select theaters. It luckily it was in Colorado. I did have to drive myself to go see it. Okay, I say I drove. My mom drove. Thank God. Because it was like 45 minutes away from me. My mom and I went ahead and we saw it on Friday the 13th. It was actually kind of cool because when we did go to the theater, we're just sitting down, we're waiting for it to premiere, and out of nowhere, one of my really good friends and her fiance walked in. Like, I was just staring at, I'm like, what the f-? And I'm like, oh my God. So like they came and sat with us. It was actually kind of crazy because this theater, you couldn't just sit anywhere. You actually had to like,
Assigned
purchase your
seats.
seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the chances that me and my friend pick the seats right next to each other? I was like, what the heck?
Coincidence.
But kind of the same, along with my mom and my friend and her fiance, I want to say there was maybe a total of like six other people in the theater.
At
So
least you had more
unfortunately,
than
it wasn't
I. It was
filled
just
for
me.
opening night,
I
but
mean, I mean, you did go on the premiere. I went like a couple days afterwards, so that I can understand why it was just me and my ex and then another couple up there. Like
yeah,
literally watch the vlog on my personal channel. I filmed everything from me driving to getting to the movie theaters, from everything and talking to my ex about our thoughts after the movie and stuff. So
I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I would say this movie was pretty epic just to see, like, for one, and for me personally, just to see Andy kind of step out of, well, it's not technically out of his comfort zone, but to see him in a different light of acting instead of just like music and just like in music videos, like actually see his acting potential. Because we all knew that at a young age, even in his book, he always loved, enjoyed acting, obviously, when the chance in him videos. And then I know he did a couple of commercials here and there and everything. And yeah,
I thought that was super exciting too because it's hard because when you see Andy, you think Andy Biersack, but it was really awesome to watch in both American Satan and Paradise City, um, the character that he developed as Johnny Foss. You could really like you could look at if you watch American Satan and you see we're gonna say Johnny because Andy plays the role of
Johnny.
Johnny. You look at Johnny and you don't think Andy, you think Johnny.
100%. It's like two different personas, and I think Andy did a phenomenal job. I also, from a good source, found out that, Andy definitely enjoyed this project very much. He was so serious about doing it well, like this movie and production well, that he went to an acting coach in LA and literally memorized the whole entire script, not only his parts, but everyone else's parts.
Oh my
Not
damn.
only did he know his parts, but also every other's parts, like lines and stuff. Like that's how serious he was. Like to go to LA for an acting coach, obviously, coach, I understand, but he like memorized not his lines, but also the entire movie script, basically, from start to finish.
Dedication though. And that's the kind of acting that you want though. You want someone who's going to be dedicated to the role,
Mhm.
even the other roles that they're not playing.
I know. I'm just like, damn. Because like the only acting thing I've done was I was in theater in high school, and I
Same.
never got like the main parts. I always got like chorus and stuff. It wasn't until like my senior year where I wasn't like a big part, but like I got like a small, like a minus part. It was a Little Mermaid production. I played one of Ariel's sisters and stuff. And there were some lines I did have to remember. So I remember memorizing only my lines. I didn't give a shit about anyone else's lines. It was just my lines in the chorus and stuff. So that's my only experience with acting. For him to memorize the whole freaking entire script, I'm like, well then.
It's pretty insane, actually. But I mean, that just goes to show he has a very great memory. But I mean, as I said, once again, just dedication to the role, I feel, is what it is.
It is. So, for anyone who does not know, American Satan, here is kind of like the storyline of the movie itself. On the back of the DVD, it says a young rock band, half from England, half from the US, drop out of college and move to the Sun Strip to chase their dream. Living in a van, their passion and talent exceed their means to survive. Uh, a stranger sees that, turns out potential, and emotionally manipulates them during a time of weakness. Caught in the middle of a frosting deal, their music and controversial end up influences social beyond anything that centuries seen, but they cannot take back control of their destiny before it's too late.
And if that doesn't pique your interest, you guys, we can describe this movie in five simple words: sex, drugs, rock and roll, and Satan.
That I love that. That is too perfect. That is to the T. Yes, thank
Hopefully that piques your interest now.
you. I mean, if one interest is Andy, go for it. But
Oh yeah, for sure. Which I was gonna say there's also another. I mean, there's more actors in it besides Andy. I think there's another person from a band. Sorry, I say person. Their name I believe is Ben Bruce from Asking
Asking
Alexandria, the
Alexandria.
guitarist. Yeah,
That's one.
he plays
And
as one of the guys in the band.
plays, I think, one of the guitar players, I want to say. And then we have Malcolm McDowell. Is that his last name? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the one who plays essentially the devil, in quotation marks and stuff, in the movie. This old guy right here.
I know. The moment I watch this movie too, I'm like, I know that guy. I'm like,
So
what
here's the
other
thing.
movies have I seen him in?
Here's where you've seen him before. Because many people, Nicole, you're in horror genre. You should know this person by now. In the remake of Halloween by Rob Zombie, he played a therapist for Michael Myers and stuff. Which a fun fact is because Andy back then with his ex-girlfriend Scout, she was the lead star in these Halloween
Yes.
movies. So he went on set with her, obviously, and he kind of met him, but like at the time he didn't know who he was or anything. Like they Malcolm and Andy kind of just like said hi and that's it. And Andy even stated in his book that I met him, let alone after years passed, we would be meeting again for American Satan. Did he remember me? No.
That's okay.
It's okay, but it just made me laugh at like, it just full circle. Like they met on the Rob Zombie Halloween movie with Andy's ex-girlfriend Scout and stuff, not knowing that they're gonna meet again for American Satan and actually act together and stuff. And like it's just full circle.
Crazy how they cross
It
paths.
is crazy. So he's been in there. I mean, there's other famous actors too. The guy who plays like the manager for the record agency, Elias
Oh,
Mark Boom Jr. I've seen him in other movies too and
same.
everything. But you know what? I just love the fact that they also got UK actors too for this. So
Yeah, they definitely got like a little mixture of both worlds, which was pretty cool.
the actor who played what's his name, the character Ricky, the like relentless manager and stuff, the
Yeah.
kind of quirky little guy and stuff. Him and Andy kind of became really close while filming and stuff. And his name is John, I think. Yes, his name is John. So they became very close, and obviously John's like Andy's such a wonderful person to work with. He such has a big heart. He's so genuine and nice and everything. We're very respectful that anytime BBB goes to like the UK and stuff and perform, John, if he could, will go to a BBB show to support of Andy just because of their friendship and stuff from
Oh,
filming this American Satan. So
that's beautiful. I love that.
I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I mean, it just kind of shows like who we are.
Yeah. Well, it shows like the friendships that Andy has made while filming.
Yeah. Obviously, this movie was very different, I would say. Like Nicole said, drugs, sex, rock and roll. What else did you say?
Satan.
Satan, thank you. So I will admit, this movie kind of delves into the whole devil worshiping a tad a little bit. They don't go well into detail, but they do go into it a little bit because in the movie, basically, if you the Relentless, the band, in a way, make a deal with the devil to become famous in the rock and roll industry. And like, that's great and stuff, but obviously making a deal with the devil comes with other stuff.
The director of the movie, Ash Avildsen. It's an Ash Avildsen film. From my understanding, from what I read, it was this entire movie is supposedly based on life experiences that he's had in the music industry.
And I know in the beginning start of this movie, there are quotes from Ozzy Osbourne about
Mhm.
talking about the devil worshiping and rock and roll. Even they had a quote from David Bowie. I can't remember the name. It was like in the beginning of the movie about how rock and roll and stuff and devil worshiping and everything. And not like it makes sense because to be fair, I grew up in a kind of conservative household. My mom believing in God so much and everything that she always argued with me with Black Veil Brides joining a cult because she literally thought I was worshiping a devil because of their Morning Star type deal. So I will admit, I kind of made my ex at the time watch this with me, not knowing a lot what was going to happen about the devil worshiping and everything. And he is also kind of conservative and believer of God and the Bible and stuff. And so after the movie, we were kind of talking about it, and he told me, Frank, that he actually got started getting mad while watching this video movie just because of the whole worship thing about drugs and sex and the devil and stuff. And I don't know. He told me that, and then my mom asked me, "What movie did you saw?" And I watched, and I as soon as I said American Satan to her, Satan, she's like, ugh. So I will admit, I got a little judged from my mom and my ex by watching this movie just because the whole devil worshiping and everything. Do I believe in devil worshiping? These are just my 2 cents. I do because I do believe in demons.
Yeah.
So I do believe it's a type of worshiping, maybe cult or whatever type deal. Am I a part of it? No. So I don't know. It's just kind of it's a very this movie is a lot of mixed bags of stuff because they go everywhere with the rock industry, which tends to happen. Sex and drugs tend to happen when you're a rock star and stuff. And then the whole devil worshiping, it's like so
And I will admit, I do think, despite all of that, I really do think a lot of that stems from like back in the 80s and 90s. I feel like any rock and roll, I'm not saying that all of them, of course, did that, but a lot of rock and roll bands back then were like, of course, having sex with like everyone. They were doing drugs, trashing hotels, the all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't happen still to this day. It
yeah.
probably does. And I'm sure that there probably are, I'm sure that a lot of people in the music industry have seen some crazy they probably have seen some devil worshiping thing, where people have maybe like sold their soul to the devil to be in a band and all that stuff. As you saw in the movie, it all comes with a price, though.
It does, unfortunately. And I do understand like a lot of bands out there, even still today, are trying to make it big and stuff into the industry. And like LA is a very, very competitive place for music and acting and everything else. So like I almost feel like in the movie it does say like the devil did catch them at a weakness because of everything. And they were just at a weak point where they decided to say, it, we're going to make a deal with you to become famous, not even thinking about it. And as the movie continues, you can see on, like, the devil's asking for more stuff from them to make them more popular, headlining and so forth. And you can tell from Andy's character, Johnny, it's getting to him a lot. And towards the end, obviously, the result happened that it happened.
One of the things that I did like about this film of what it showed of what a band can do is the influence that it does have on the fans. Now, of course, like for anyone that doesn't know, Ruth has stated the band's name in the movie is The Relentless, and it's basically like an outsider band.
Mm,
They dress differently and
alternative
it
band. Yeah.
helps, yeah, and it helps like all the kids that are kids or adults, anyone who's listening to them, it shows kind of like scenery of bullies picking on them, but the music for them when they listen to it, like, oh, that makes me I can stand up for myself. It gives them like the courage to do that. But I think the one side effect with it, which I feel that's kind of where like maybe the devil plays the role of like, because you can get handed things, but everything comes at the price. So yeah, you're doing good by, for fans influencing them, but I guess it's influencing them in the wrong way, where instead of standing up to their bullies, they're injuring them, possibly like death is involved. It's going a little too far.
And the sad truth, like that still is the thing today,
Yeah.
unfortunately, even if it's not with music, unfortunately. And it does, I feel like the movie does show like sides of the music industry and also the fandom of what could possibly happen and stuff. Like, and we're not saying like it's a guarantee it's going to happen, but like, it's just another a point of view to see.
It's kind of one of those things. The Relentless Band, everything is basically spiraling out of control, and it's just seeing if they can take back that control before it's too late.
Their free will and stuff.
I do know, I don't know how it was for you, from a lot of when I was doing a lot of research and everything, even when the movie came out, just seeing all like the comments and posts about what people were saying about it. The movie essentially had a lot of people confused. People were confused throughout the whole thing. Some people were just confused about the middle. I wanted to know, like, Did the movie at all confuse you, or like right away did it click in your head? Like, did you know everything that was going on?
I wasn't really confused. I guess the only confusing part that I came across was the whole situation of the devil and the bass player Lily.
Thank you.
That's
That's the
my
only
only
confusion I.
confusing part because obviously for anyone who's watched the movie and then obviously saw the City season 1, Lily is still there. So I'm just curious, like, was Lily an actual person or is she like a pawn or like a hallucination for Johnny and stuff? So like, and now with Paradise City coming out, I'm like, I guess she is a real person. That I guess the devil was just using her as a pawn and like manipulated her to
Yeah.
manipulate the guys or Johnny. So
When I first watched it, it took me a couple times. I had to keep rewatching it because I thought in theaters, you can't rewind. So that's why I
yeah.
was like, maybe I missed something. I was like, so when it comes out again, I'm gonna have to like obviously rewatch it. And yeah, I think like 4 or 5 watches later, I was like, okay, I kind of got that feeling. Okay, I was like, Lily is a real person, but she's not a good person. I will say.
No, she's not. She's not. Obviously, for those of us who watched the movie, you guys understand what she did and stuff to Johnny and everything. But no, I mean, there's a lot. I have a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to Lily, her character and stuff. Obviously, with Paradise City, continuing on the story, I mean, I always had mixed feelings and stuff. Like I go back and forth and everything.
I can't
But
wait for us to get into Paradise
oh
City.
gosh. But I like the movie in general. I mean, one thing about it is like I love the costumes, the Relentless hat and stuff, and the music.
Jacket.
Right. I will admit, when it came to the movie, so a lot of people get confused when they watch this movie for the first time and know Andy, and same with Paradise City. So, unfortunately, due to record labels and everything else, yes, Andy is performing, this acting is him, but his voice when he sings is not his voice, unfortunately.
No, it's played. The vocals is actually Remington. I don't know how to say his last name. Remington, like
Hayal Royale.
yeah, the band that he's in is Powwow Royale.
So
Never
the
say
issue was for
it.
a lot of fans is that at the time, so this movie was Sumerian Records that
Yeah.
produced it and stuff. And so at the time, Black Veil Brides was not under Sumerian Records record label and stuff. They were under Universal, I think. And so if they were going to use Andy's voice, Universal would expect a cut basically from Sumerian by using Andy's voice. Obviously, I don't know all the details, but I guess it didn't work out. So they use Remington's voice, I believe, because he was under Sumerian Records at the time. And it's like that way there was no conflict or issues. So I understand, but it just sucks because obviously, as us Blackville Brides fans, we know what Andy sounds like and stuff. And so, like, when I watched the movie, knowing the fact that it's not his voice, it just felt it was just weird because I'm like, okay, I know that's Andy. That's not his voice, though. That's not his voice. Even in Paradise City, when he was singing, I'm like, that's not his voice. It's not his voice. It's not his voice. It's not his voice.
That was a little hard to take in. My
It
mom and
was.
I were both confused. Like in the theater, we both looked at each other. She goes, "That's not him." Yes, mom, I know. I was like, "Hold up." I was like, "Just give me a minute. I gotta, we gotta watch this." But and I already told Ruth this too, but I think it's actually in a way a good thing that they didn't use Andy's vocals because as much as we all love and adore Andy's singing voice, once again, I really think that it helped to deter you from seeing Johnny Faust as Andy Biersack. If his vocals were in there,
That's true.
I feel like it wouldn't be Johnny Faust. And I also want to say I've listened to Palais Royale. And guy's got a great voice.
He
I
does.
unfortunately just can't get into the music, but oddly enough, I like his voice in The Relentless. I can
I
listen to the
actually
whole soundtrack.
I actually don't mind Payal Rayo's voice. I actually like some of their songs and stuff. But I get it. Like I think it's pros and cons of like Andy's not using his actual singing voice, but we get to see his actual voice for his acting skills and everything else. So
But it works. It worked for Johnny Faust for that
it
voice, you
did.
know?
It did. I will state the first time I did watch this movie, I think it's because I was kind of, let's just say, going withdrawals of BVB and stuff, that hearing it and seeing them performing in the movie, it's just like it really made me miss concerts, especially Warped Tour and stuff. So
Yeah. That's fair. And it's one of those things too, watching the movie and like obviously seeing the stage that the Relentless gets to play on. I'm like, damn, that needs to be fucking Black Veil Brides on a big stage like that.
one day, one day.
It will happen. It will. Do you by chance have a favorite track off of American Satan that the Relentless did?
I like him Let Him Burn
That me too.
or Against the Devil. This was a fun fact I recently discovered. It's like the filming process, I don't know exactly how many days, but apparently it was a shorter span time than what they did for Paradise City.
That's interesting. But okay, it makes sense. Although we're not going to go into full discussion with Paradise City, but we can say Paradise City involved so much more bands
They did.
that played. So I think that could have been maybe a cause of why it took longer to film because you have to,
Probably,
if
yeah.
anyone was on tour, they had to like work around everyone's schedule probably. And they had way more people in Paradise City than American Satan.
American Satan did have a lot of obviously cameos and stuff. They have like big stars too. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about this one actor due to everything that's allegations against him and everything, but um Drake Bell did a cameo in American Satan in the
Oh my God,
beginning.
that's right.
He's the one who unfortunately got the sacrificial. He was the human sacrifice and everything. But I was not expecting to see him in this movie at all, even for a very short time. I will admit, I grew up watching Drake and Josh a lot growing up, and
I love Drake and Josh.
I love watching it. And I know Drake has a lot of things going around in his life right now. But I
Yeah.
was just not expecting to see him in this movie. I was like, oh, that's cool. So, and just
Yeah.
see him and Andy, and I'm just like, yay.
Let alone see Drake playing the role of an asshole too. I was like, I mean, okay, I don't know. Maybe people who watch Drake and Josh like, well, he was a dick in there, but I guess he was more like,
Oh, he was a full-on in this movie. He was more like a playful
yeah,
brother.
Drake and Josh was like the playful dick, I guess. But like
Yeah.
this movie was, you didn't want to be around this dude.
American Satan was I did enjoy it. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I don't know. I just like the whole concept of what they went through about how you said sex, drugs, rock and roll, and Satan and everything.
It's the
Basically
best
just
way
sum
to
it up.
explain it.
And I think one thing I did, and I know we kind of touched it on, is this movie kind of shows light of like how, drug addiction can get pretty bad when you're in this industry and stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel it's almost like peer pressure in a way.
Yeah. Because it's like if you don't
It's
do it,
not
you're
just like
not
high school
cool.
like it's anywhere. Any kind of field that you get into, there's always going to be that peer pressure.
The
And
temptation. Yeah.
yes, exactly. I think I love that word so much better, the temptation. And especially like when, the devil is involved, things are going to be way more tempting.
Yeah. I really love the production, where they filmed it, the editing, the just everything about it and everything else. So
It was really well done. I will admit, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you would consider this like an indie movie. I'm not really sure. I don't think it is because I know most indie movies do not get released in theaters, but because it was released in select theaters, I'm not 100% sure. But it was kind of one of those I didn't know exactly how I'm trying to think of the correct wording for it. When filming, like how you watch some movies and I don't know, maybe like there's some grain to it
oh
or it's
yeah.
not as like high quality. I was impressed. There you go. I was impressed with the quality of this film. I mean, the acting alone on everyone's part was very well done. Everyone did a great job, but just the quality itself, everything from the music to the acting. It was just so good.
It was good. And I can't recall, because I know this was done by Sumerian Records. Was this like Sumerian Records like first like motion picture movie, I want to say? Because I can't recall any others. Then again, I don't really pay attention to it. So if you
Yeah.
know, or anyone watching or listening, let us know.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's Sumerian's first or not. I mean, if it is, well done.
Very well done.
This
I,
was great, a great movie.
I don't know if you recall seeing any videos. So obviously this movie came out. and they had a premiere in LA and everything. I don't know if you saw photos of that or any footage of that, of the premiere in LA and all the, the red carpet and everything and stuff.
Photos, yes, videos, no.
So I still follow this influencer. She doesn't post as much, but she does from time to time. Um, this influencer who I follow on YouTube, her username, it's Black Friday. I don't know if you've ever seen her.
I do know who that is.
So I watch her videos kind of religiously because I just love her style and everything. And she actually got an opportunity to go to the premiere of American Satan.
So lucky.
And so when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, you like Black Veil Brides. Well, because that's what my thought went in through. And she actually went to the premiere. She actually got to meet Andy for a little bit and talk to him a little bit on film. And also Chris Biersack. And I was like, so cool. You got to meet them. Like I was like so like a little fangirling because I'm like, oh cool, cool. And like I saw the premiere and I also saw other influencers went to the premiere too of American Satan and stuff. But like I will flat out admit that, I asked Chris, like, hey, you were at the premiere, right? And he's like, yeah, him and Amy were at the premiere in LA. And he stated that he thinks it's a awesome and a cool experience, one to remember because they just never thought like their son, besides music and everything, obviously they knew that was going to happen, would also see him, do acting and have this cool premiere and stuff. So they just really enjoyed that and stuff. So
I'm sure that must be super exciting for them. And I can't imagine like how proud they are of Andy. And it's one of those things too. Now I'm just kind of like, hey, Andy, he's obviously in a band. He's singing, he's done his band. He's done a solo project. Now he's done acting. I'm like, what is next? I'm super excited. Is he gonna get in the ring and wrestle? Like, I would love that. Suplex someone, Andy. Suplex someone on stage. Just take
oh
Cece
my
and just
God.
power slam him, power bomb. I don't care.
I have a feeling he might do what Johnny Depp and Jim Carrey are doing, his own artwork. He's done it
Ooh,
already, so.
yeah. Well, he has, yeah. I wish I had $500 to
Oh my
spend
God,
on those.
Nicole, I swear to God, if
They were
Andy has
so
artwork
cool.
for this upcoming Bleeders tour on the merch booth and it's really cool looking, do not judge me if I get out $500 or what, $300 to get one, and then I'm going to be like, you need to mail this to me or I will carry it on the plane with me.
I could definitely mail it to you. No judging. I will literally be like that little devil on your shoulder saying, spend the money. Do it.
Anyone who is interested, I don't know if they still sell this in hard copy physically. Do
I
you
think
know?
okay. I don't want to say yes. I want to say that I think that you can get it on Amazon still.
I want to say that, but I'm not 100% sure. But this is what it looks like. This one, yours has two, right? One regular and one Blu-ray.
Yeesh.
Yep, that's what it looks like. And then I know you can watch this movie if you have Amazon Prime on Amazon for free, although you have to deal with ads. Other than that, it's there for Amazon Prime.
It's also on Tubi, YouTube, Fandango, Google Play, Freeview, and Plex.
There you go. Yeah, and I know at times, I think Sumerian Records, I don't know how long they did this, but I know Sumerian Records actually started playing this full movie on their YouTube channel and were talking to fans as they were playing this movie, which I found pretty cool. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. Honestly, this movie is definitely a staple. Obviously, we see a different side of Andy and his acting
Yeah.
skills, which I freaking love, and everything. This movie was good. I mean, to be fair, again, this movie was very good that they made a spin-off series called Paradise City. So
I recommend for anyone that hasn't seen it, like obviously if you can buy the DVD, but I understand maybe you're like, well, I don't really know if I want to buy it. That's why we named all the places that you can go to see it, all the platforms that you can go to watch it. But I even will admit, even if you're not a Black Veil Bride fan, I still highly suggest checking out the film. I did see some comments of people who, because they dislike Black Veil Brides, they're not going to see the film. I don't know. To me, that's kind of ignorant. I think you should still
Bull.
regardless, because even despite not liking the band, you don't have to like Andy, but you might actually enjoy this
There
film.
is no Black Veil Brides thing connected to this movie besides obviously
Yeah.
the lead singer, but he's not even singing any Blackfoot Bride stuff. He's not wearing Blackfoot Bride's merch. He's just wearing what his character would wear, Johnny Faust would wear. And yes, due to things, it's not even Andy's voice that's singing.
See, exactly. That's
Although
why
this it is kind of funny though that you brought that up because at the time my ex did not like Blackville Brides whatsoever. I know it's stupid.
no.
I know it's stupid. I can get
Did it
more.
maybe like, but did he like Andy's acting at least throughout the
He
movie?
liked Andy's acting, and he
Yeah.
surprisingly liked the music from this movie because I guess it wasn't Andy's voice. I don't know.
At least he enjoyed Andy's parts through it. That's what matters, I guess. But
It's just
still.
funny how it works.
Yeah, this movie also is rated R, you guys. So if you are underage, I mean, I still suggest watching it anyway, but if you need to get approval, it is rated R.
Again, what Nicole said: sex, drug, rock and roll, Satan. Yes, there is nudity.
American Satan. That line is always like that's permanently stuck in my head.
American Satan. I don't. I just love the whole concept of it. They did really good and everything. And I mean, we know that there's a spinoff that continues on the story and stuff in Paradise City season 1. So if you're interested, for anyone watching and listening, and you want us to go into that episode by episode, because how many episodes are there? 10, 9? I don't know.
I think it might only be like, yeah, 9 or 10. Just one season. I know
One
that.
season as of right now, and we don't know if they're going to make another season or not. So
I will just say when watching either one, pay close attention because there is so much detail in the film that can easily be missed. So make sure that you are paying very close attention. Don't let anything distract you.
there's a lot of like you can say Easter eggs in here, that connections and stuff to things. It's a good watch. We would recommend it and stuff. And I think Andy needs to be in another film here soon.
I agree. A horror film too. That would be awesome.
All right, BVB Armies. Today's fan shout out actually goes to a wonderful, wonderful artist that I honestly recently discovered like 2 weeks ago. I don't know how. I'm just finding her out because her artwork, oh my God, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, 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 honestly. So her username on Instagram is drawing by Tess. She has an Etsy shop too, but if you go and look at her Instagram, the top 2 drawings that she does is obviously Andy Biersack, and then she does one from Noah from Bad Omens, but a lot of Andy Biersack. Like, oh my God, there's so many Andy Biersack from Blackfoot Brides to Andy Black from everything. And she even did a drawing of Andy's character, Johnny, in American Satan, the jail scene where he's smoking a cigarette.
It's so well done. I'm really amazed that we have not seen your work before.
I know. I'm just like, how are we just seeing this now? Like, her artwork is amazing. I may have purchased some prints of hers because I just had to and stuff. So, I would definitely go check her out. She's so freaking talented. Like, she posts videos of her, even a time lapse of her sketching and stuff. Like, she's been posting videos of like screenshots of Blackfoot Brides, like music videos and everything. Like, here's one of Perfect Weapon.
Oh my God, she got Andy's sinister little smile.
She did. And I just love the fact that she actually includes clips of time lapse of her drawing of these, which is really cool to see of.
Yeah.
I mean, she is truly talented. Like, she definitely has a style and stuff. So, like, please go give her a follow on Instagram. And if you want to order prints, I think she's gonna have a couple stickers too. Go to her Etsy account and purchase them because her artwork is just phenomenal and I freaking love it. And like, I'm sorry it took me so long to discover you, drawing by Tess, but like, I don't know how I discovered you. I don't even know how. Because like, it's yeah. Anyway, I discovered you. I'm happy I did. Your artwork is phenomenal. I think we just need more prints, and like, you, Abnormal Victoria, Cassidy needs to be hired for BBB merch. I'm just saying.
It's okay. Now that you found her, you shared her with me, and now you're sharing all of her artwork with the rest of the BBB Army to be seen.
Yes, please go follow her. Her artwork is amazing, and I'm just like, obviously you could tell she's a big Blackfoot Brides fan because obviously she does tons of art of Andy and stuff, but she also has a couple Blackfoot Brides tattoo on her, so it's freaking awesome. Please go give her a follow, and if you want to purchase her prints or stickers, go do it. All right, BVB Army, that brings us to the end of this episode. We hope you guys enjoy our thoughts and reviews when it comes to American Satan. And yes, if you are interested of us going episode by episode of Paradise City, let us know because I'm sure we have a lot to talk about there for sure.
Oh, we do. I feel like as it leads into Paradise City, it gets more sinister and
It
dark
does. And more hints and everything else there.
and just a lot of plot twists.
Very lot of plot twists. Holy cow, yes indeed. But again, if you have not seen the video movie, please go to any streaming platforms if you want to. If you do want to purchase it, physical copy, I believe it's on Amazon too. It's an amazing movie. Um, again, Andy just needs to be coming back to another motion picture because it's been a minute.
Or if not that, if they just want to release more seasons of Paradise City, I'm cool with that too.
Exactly. You can find all of our social media links down below. We are on all streaming platforms. We have a TikTok, X/Twitter, Instagram too. We're almost at the end of March, and we're here sitting like little ducks waiting to see any news from BVB, which I'm sure we all are.
We're all on the edge of our seats
We're
here. We're
basically
gripping the
so
seats.
come on, BVB, give us something to freak out about.
Please, we're desperate.
We are. Thank you so much for tuning in. There will be another video next week. Hopefully by next week this sickness is gone. I do apologize if you heard my coughs and everything else. I tried my best.
Okay, you did wonderful. I hope that you start feeling better here soon. If you're still sick by next week, I'm gonna be like, what the hell, Ruth?
At least I'll be sick before the concert.
That's true. Get all your sickness out now.
Exactly. Anyway, guys, we will see you guys next a Wednesday on our channel. So please hit the subscribe button and we will see you guys later.